And welcome again, everyone, to another BIS podcast broadcasting live on the Marvin Network. I'm Josh Green, joined today by Alex Sanders, the head of our GIS department, and also the legend himself, Sterling Harris. And on today's podcast, our topic is collector app benefits, discussing the GIS field. First off, though, I want to welcome again Alex Sanders and Sterling Harris for joining us. Appreciate you, gentlemen, for being on the podcast today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Josh. Appreciate you taking time to talk with us today.
You bet. Thank you, Josh. We appreciate it.
Hey, it's no problem at all, guys. Well, Alex, we've had Sterling on, and we know so much about Sterling from his earlier podcast with us. And but I'll go ahead and kind of let you guys introduce yourselves again. We know again a lot about Sterling, but Alex, kind of tell us a little about yourself and what you do here at BIS.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. My name's Alex Sanders. I'm the manager of our GIS and Deeds department. So we manage cadastral mapping, GIS mapping. We have a team of quite a few, 13 deeds and GIS processors that manage a vast majority of the state of Texas cadastral information through our GIS systems. So I'm just lucky to be a part of this team with a great group of people that ensure all the information that's needed to be viewed within mapping and mapping applications is done correctly and done efficiently for our clients.
Awesome indeed. And Sterling, kind of tell us again what you do here at BIS.
Yes. Basically, I'm, client relations. I meet with our customers in the field and, work with them. I support, Alex with the GIS and help him, field calls and assist him and actually support this mobile field apps application. So that's one of my things that I focus on.
And let me mention also two great golfers that we have here today on the podcast.
Well, between the three of us, I think we could make a pretty good scramble team. We just got to,
Yeah.
Put Britt or Brandon in there to level the playing field for the rest of the.
Well, yeah, or we could just keep it as nuts. Well, again,
That's pretty
guys, I
awesome.
appreciate y'all being on with us here today on the podcast. So we're going to dive right into it. So again, our topic today on the podcast is collector app benefits. Now, I'll go with you, Alex, and before we kind of get into that here in just a little bit, kind of explain to us what is GIS and what does the GIS department do here at BIS?
Yeah, so I'll give the fun technical answer first here. GIS, more commonly referred to as Geographic Information System. So this is a technology that enables the capture, storage, analysis, visualization of spatial data. So it really meaning taking data information, applying some geography to that, and then putting it in an application that or a map that can be viewed either through a computer or printed out paper that provides insight into where or what's going on in an area. Specifically here at BIS, we really focus on what we call cadastral mapping, and that's really mapping for appraisal districts and property ownership. It's used to create, manage parcel maps. These are used to determine property boundaries, ownership information, value information. It's a main tool used to maintain property records, track land use changes, and it provides accurate, up-to-date kind of information, for the public to easily see within the appraisal districts. I think it's a great tool, a communication tool between what the appraisal district does and what the public can view and see online. So our goal here at BIS is to make sure that that information is as accurate as possible and up to date as possible so that the public is uh, always up to date and informed of the information that's available at the appraisal district. So that's kind of the fun long explanation there of what we do here for on the mapping side.
Gotcha, Alex. Well, again, we talk about what all we offer here at BIS. You talk about the GIS department, what y'all do. I know one of the tools, and we were talking before we started this little record or this little podcast, Alex, is that field maps is one of the best tools that we use. And I'm gonna let Sterling explain this a little bit more. So, Sterling, kind of tell us a little bit about field maps and what they mean to the department.
You bet. Well, Field Maps basic too is an Esri product, ArcGIS Online. We publish maps. We attach field cards to the map for people to access in the field. It's a wonderful application basically too because we're leveraging the GIS that we already have. We've created this cadastral data for them, and now we're getting to leverage it in a mobile app where they can use it in the field. So the application runs like on an iPad or a Surface Pro, Windows environment or iOS operating system, but it's designed to be able to use in the field. You can select a parcel and route yourself to that parcel. It leverages Google Maps, so it's a great application for people to use out there in the field. The appraisal districts across the state, they have a certain time that they've got to get their field work done. So that's one of the biggest challenges is getting around to those properties. They've got 1/3 of the county that they've got to do each year. So this Field Maps app is really designed to help folks get around in the field better and get their work done. And but it's simple to use, but that pretty much covers it. I mean, it's a great app. And these folks in the past, they've had to carry all their field cards and organize, before they go out. So they're printing out all this paper and carrying paper maps into the field. Well, this eliminates that. That's one of the most difficult things that you have to deal with is, trying to, the time consuming of printing out all that, the field cards and then trying to organize them and do your drive outs and stuff. So this eliminates that. It's so.
Yeah, that's I what I'm kind of hearing from Sterling with this is this is a powerful tool that really enables these appraisal district staff to efficiently collect and update the property data in the field without having to manually carry out stacks and reams of paper with all the information about all those properties. Is that kind of a good way to talk about that there, Sterling? With like what were the disadvantages of that paper? I mean, that I can only imagine.
Oh my gosh. Well, they were having to mark up those field cards, on paper and take them back to the office and just keeping up with them. And now, with this new Field Maps app, you can use, the Apple iPen. It has the tool within the application that you can mark up that card, and then you can actually store it on the device, or there's different options, but it's you've got that marked card that you can just pull off your iPad when you get back in the office. And the other big advantage too, the app is you can see when you're done with a inspection in the field, it'll appraisal completed. It'll shade that map in green, to represent what you've completed in the field. Plus, if you catch something out there in the field that you need to go have attention, maybe a parcel that had a new structure on it, you can actually shade it yellow. So here's it's basically a working map, but you're using it within this field, device.
So that's a really good workflow tool as well for other staff management to see what's been done, where more work needs to be acquired, or uh, where they need to drive out to and get more information. Is that kind of a good way to summarize that?
Yeah, I mean, it's taken care of, it's a great way to index things, in the field that's been done. And, you know, later on, if during ARB season, you can pull this map up and view it and, be able to see what's been completed in the field. If they're doing comparisons on properties, they can see what they've appraised, where they're located. Being able to see that represented on the map is wonderful. And that's the other thing I want to stress with this too, because you're using the map on the iPad, but you can also log into the same map on your desktop. So it's dynamic. So as people are, your field appraisers are getting their work done, you'll be able to see what they've accomplished, and the chief appraiser can be in the office logged into that same map and see what's been done. So it's a great way to keep up, with that particular process for sure.
Yeah, really, to me, it sounds like it's really eliminating that need, paper forms, you know,
That's,
data entry. The other thing is being able to take pictures in the
that's
field, and
exactly, yeah.
yeah, so all your pictures that you could take, it can all be done through this app, and extracted and labeled correctly. Really help ensure that you're getting accurate, up to date, easily accessible information.
And that's so true. And that, I've heard, field appraisers say that that's one of the most difficult things is having to carry a camera in the field and take photos and actually keep up with what that photo and what parcel it goes with. But with this app, you can actually see the photo attached to that parcel. If you select it on the map, you'll be able to see what photos you took at that particular site, inspection. So no doubt a wonderful thing. And of course, Alex, you run the scripts on that to be able to pull those off automatically and drop those on their desktop. So they're not having to manage those photos. So that's a wonderful feature to be able to offer, in a mobile solution.
Perfect. And I guess that's what both Sterling and I really want to really stress here, is that we're at BIS. We're here to help and assist these appraisal districts set up all this application, walk through how to use this and how they can fully leverage this within their office, and with our assistance. So that's a big component of all this. Is we're there to help each step of the process to ensure that they don't have this myriad of
Mhm.
maps, paper, phones, cameras, the amount of stuff you'd have to bring into the field previously to get your job done, uh, has been reduced down to a just a single device, which is
Yeah,
that's an amazing bit of technology.
you bet it is. And some of the comments that I hear from our clients that's using it currently are just saying that, this saved me a month and a half off the time that I'm in the field. So you can imagine what that cost would be, savings of, not having somebody in the field for a month and a half or 2 months. So if that's, and there again, we mentioned that strict timeline that they have to get things done because, they have to certify, their tax roll. So everything they have to, do the inspections on. This way, it gives them a little bit more time to do that process and get it done. So
Awesome. Well, I the job that you have done in helping set this up, and really talk with our clients on its potential use for time savings, the staff's staff effort, energy, everything it takes to support staff in the field, being able to utilize just a small device and efficiently uh, gather that information, because time is of essence for
Mhm.
with appraisal districts. They just, they're on strict schedules throughout the year, and you only have a limited amount to get out there and get all that work done.
You bet.
So
Well, I think the wonderful thing, a part of it too, is, all the work that's being put into that parcel data every, every day, out there, they get to leverage it in another place. They get to leverage the same map that you're trying to, that you're updating constantly, and be able to use it in the field like this so it's amazing to be able to pull that off. And I think it's a wonderful tool in the toolbox, is what I can say, to have this. So,
perfect.
yeah.
And I think for the public as well, this helps the appraisal district, easier access to public, providing that public information. It's transparent, it's
Mhm.
accessible, it's up to date, and it benefits both, property owners, public, and the appraisal district to have this piece of their work be as efficient as possible.
No doubt, for sure. Yeah.
Guys, I love when I get people on here who know what they're talking about. And you know what? You and Sterling both, Alex, could just take this thing over if y'all want to.
Well, I figured we could probably sit here and talk about how we could utilize this for a lot of other applications and benefits for
Yeah.
other businesses. But we'd be on here for another probably 2 hours talking to each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, y'all can save me the trouble, and y'all can just take this thing over because, hey, I kind of through a moment there, I thought I don't even know if I'm here anymore.
Well, yeah, it's Sterling and I could definitely geek out on some GIS speak. That's for sure. So there's certain things that are really exciting.
Yeah.
I know in my life, and GIS definitely is one. I always tell people that they're all GIS users and experts. They just don't know it because they have a cell phone, and that cell phone is a GIS device that we all use every
Right.
day, and it's more and more ubiquitous in every bit of our lives. And
Yeah.
I think these tools are only going to get bigger and better and more efficient. So
Yeah.
at BIS, we want to really make sure that we're on top of these changes and really look at how we can push those to our clients and make them and their lives easier and better as well. So
Absolutely, guys. I really loved how y'all tied, in the old days with the maps and everything, and having to manually do it back then, and now with so much technology that we have, and basically you can use the click of your phone pretty much to look up
Mhm.
anything that you need. So I loved how y'all kind of tied it all together, and how the improvements of technology have really kind of thrusted this side of the business, so to speak, in making things better and making things more accessible for everyone out there in the field. Well, we're just about out of time here today, guys. But anything else that y'all like to share out, or anything for our clients out there listening, if they have any trouble with this, Alex, since you're the head of the department, who could they contact, and what would they need to do that?
yeah, thanks. I think the the best, obviously give us a call, 1-800-247-9045. If you've got any questions, we'd happy to answer those. But I think definitely, shoot, give us a call, shoot Sterling an email,
Mhm.
and we really would reach out to you and provide more information, give some demos, and show you what it's really all about.
You bet.
Awesome, guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, again, I appreciate you joining me today here on the podcast. Again, we've been talking with the head of GIS, Alex Sanders, and the legend himself, Sterling Harris. Again, guys, not just great golfers, but also GIS whizzes. So, again, guys, I appreciate y'all joining us here today on the
Yeah.
podcast. And hey, I'm looking forward to next time when I get y'all back on here.
Thanks, Josh. Yeah, we'll really
Thank,
appreciate it. And thanks
thank
for
you
all you
so
do
much.
with us.
Hey, no problem at all, guys. Again, you've been listening to another edition of the BIS podcast, broadcasting live on the Marvin Network. Again, thank you to Alex Sanders and Sterling Harris. I'm Josh Green, and until next time, so long and goodbye.